Do you feel that your career currently is at a standstill? Because if you do so, in this video, we're gonna explore 5 potential reasons why your career isn't exactly where you want it to be. And here's a spoiler alert, it's often a mix of factors and not just one. Life is just more complex, unfortunately. So stay tuned and discover why it might be a couple of reasons holding you back and you need to overcome before you can continue going into the acceleration mode with regards to achieving your professional objectives. So let's go. So before we dive into the reasons, let's define career stagnation, because it's more than just about feeling stuck. It's about lacking satisfaction in your current role or struggling to find a way out and not knowing how to articulate your career aspirations into actionable steps. And key factors include unclear goals or misaligned professional environments or poor communication and inactivity. So let's get started to sort this out. So the first reason is a lack of clear goals. Because realizing your current career path is going nowhere is one thing, but knowing your desired end state is another. So it's not enough to know what you don't want. You need to understand what you do want. And maybe you just don't know what makes you happy at this moment in time, right? Because you haven't reflected upon this in a systematic way, and that's fine. But it will be hard to find the right job for you if you're not clear on what you're looking for, right? So what is the right job for you even? What opportunities align with your goals and skills and values and interests? And many professionals make the mistake of updating their resumes and applying to any job they find because they need a job, right? And I do understand this, but this is not a suitable strategy for the long term. This might help you to cover short-term financial needs, but it's unlikely that this will lead you to professional satisfaction. And I call it the blind approach, and it is a recipe for long-term disaster. Not to say if you need a job, you need a job, right? But always set yourself also up for the long term and not only fixing a problem that occurs on a short-term horizon. And to overcome stagnation, you need to have what we call a direction or a career vision or whatever you want to call it, right? Ultimately, knowing what you want to do in a couple of years' time, at least directionally. So know where you want to go so you can map out how to get there. But it's ultimately pretty clear. No objective, no destination, no mapping of a path towards achieving this. It's impossible to achieve something that you are not aware of you want to achieve or where you have set a clear direction in order to even know where you're heading. So what can you do about this? You can, and you should, reflect on what you want to do. So what roles make sense as the next step in your career and will help you to go into the direction that you would want to go. You can identify positions that leverage your unique skills, experiences, and values or interests. You need to be clear on your priorities. Set them straight and find what is motivating you, not only for getting up there tomorrow, but also for pushing for achieving this in the next couple of months or even years. So the second reason I would like to touch upon is being in the wrong professional environment. So your company culture or management style or even the industry might not align with your values or skills or career aspirations. Your professional environment is an ecosystem. And it's an ecosystem of multiple factors, and you need the right conditions to excel. You either find them, you adopt them, or you create them. But if this is not possible, you will not be able to perform at your full potential. You simply cannot overcome stagnation if you are at the wrong place to do so. So what can you do about this? Pinpoint the specific issues causing you discomfort. Research organizations and institutions that align more with what you're looking with your, for example, principles and missions, with the tasks you would like to learn, the topics you would like to work for, and so on and so forth. Make a list of companies and connect with people working there to actually double check if what you anticipate is the situation is actually the situation. And you will learn more about their culture and their values. And potentially it might even lead to a referral that you can later on use. The third reason I would like to touch upon is pure communication. And communication is often crucial. So you need to ask yourself if you're communicating effectively with your manager and team to understand goals and metrics and feedback. So are you conveying your value efficiently to potential employers? Are you articulating your objectives to people who can offer advice? Because a lack of clear communication channels is a common reason for many professionals to fail to advance their careers. And by the way, it's not about language or accent, right? And I might be a good example for not mastering both. However, it's important that you clearly can express what you want to express. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be clear and concise. So what you can do about this? Establish a clear communication mechanism. So seek feedback and input from managers and peers and other people you are connected with in your professional network to make sure you are thriving systematically. So once you're receiving that feedback, really reflect on this, and if this is something you would want to change, find ways to do so and find a supporting infrastructure that is helping you with this. And the last one with regards to communication is to be upfront about the value you bring and the desired outcomes often into action. Because if you're just showing up without really knowing what you want to get out of a conversation, chances are pretty high that it's ending nowhere, right? So it's just like another 30 minutes coffee chat without whatsoever result in the end. Fourth reason is to undervalue yourself. And that is a pattern I've witnessed it many, many times in my career and also with my coaching clients. And that is unfortunate because many professionals, despite being talented and also capable, sell themselves short and don't recognize their own value. And they end up settling for less than they deserve. And what you can do about this is to make sure to invest in yourself. So spend an hour each day identifying your skills and achievements and areas of improvement. Consider finding someone who can help you bridge the gap between your current skills and the potential impact you can achieve. It doesn't need to be a paid coach. It doesn't need to be a paid mentor. You don't need to pay anything for this, right? Just be systematic about this. Go through the couple of hundreds of thousands of YouTube videos that might be helpful here. This will be enough to get started, right? You will need professional help at some certain point in time to calibrate and even push further and getting from good to excellent. But it's not necessary to start with, right? So push. And then later on, also focus on upskilling where necessary, right? So you can do so and so much for yourself. Do this, start this, and then investigate where do you really need to perform at a different level and then find ways and support to get there. And the fifth and last reason I would like to touch upon today is inaction. Because the main reason for career stagnation is often you. You doing absolutely nothing and waiting for the world to come to you. And I mean, that unfortunately doesn't happen too often, right? So please do not wait until things magically improve, because this is not going to happen. It is not. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect individual, the perfect job, the perfect situation, the perfect whatsoever to find, because it will not happen. And ignoring the problem will not make it disappear. This will grow in the shadow and it will come out eventually. And it will be so much bigger than before. So the fear of failure, the unknown, will keep you stuck. But what is the worst thing that can happen when you're trying to fix something that's broken? The worst case scenario is already happening. So there is literally nothing to use if you feel you're stagnating at this moment in time. Right? So what can you do is create an escape plan. It's not even an action plan anymore, right? Create an escape plan. Build a foundation based on your career vision and your goals and your passions and your interests and values. And if you're not aware of them, well, that's a good exercise to do, right? So get aware of them and identify what needs to be done, whether it's upskilling or networking or developing a job search strategy, whatever it is, start to take action. Career growth involves stepping out of your comfort zone, taking on new responsibilities and applying for promotions or switching roles or industries. But you need to be active. You need to ask for this. You need to put yourself out there. How can anyone say yes to you if they don't even know you are existing and what you're standing and pushing for? It's impossible. Even people that would like to help you can't. Give them the chance to say yes to you. Give them the chance to help you. Show up, speak up, and take action. So career stagnation doesn't have to be permanent. And by addressing these key areas, you can find a way forward and achieve, or at least getting closer to your career aspirations. So if you liked that video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. This was one of the videos I recorded because someone was reaching out with a question like this in the past. If you have your own questions that you would like to get my perspective up on or our perspective, then feel free to share it either in a direct message on one of the social channels or put it in a comment below. Let's go.